Hey guys, hi, my name is Julian, and welcome to Press Start Gaming first retrospect video. Um, I am Press Start Gaming. This is my channel. Welcome to the channel. And the goal is to bring people together through gaming, one game at a time. That is the goal, right? Also, I want to give y'all a little bit more information about me so y'all can rock with me a little, understand and rock with me a little better, right? So basically, like I said, my name is Julian and I go by Jube. Jube is a nickname given to me by my dad and my uncles from character from Samurai Shodown. He is like basically the legendary warrior from Japan. He has two swords with an eye patch. Oh. Hopefully I'll be able to put a picture of him somewhere around here so you'll be able to see who he looks like. Yeah, so that's why I go by Jubei. It's sentimental, so that's a name I get. Oh, a name given to me from my dad and my uncles and such. Everybody had a what you call it, a name or a character they like to use and such. And I used to like use Jubei a lot, so since I use Jubei a lot, they just basically nickname me, Jubei, right? So that's how I got my name. So you understand my name. I am a gamer, as you can see in the yeah, as you can see in the back. I'm still getting used to this guy, so please work with me, right? So yes, I am a gamer. I do have a lot of posters. I don't know if y'all could see. So we have the Super Mario World, 3D Bowser's Fury. We have Mario Wonder. They came in the same pack. Modern Warfare 2, 3. Um, what is that again? Damn, I forget. Well, and do you see I have Bleach? I don't know if y'all can see it, but Bleach and Naruto right there. If I aim the camera down, obviously you can see my controllers and stuff. You can see the games on the side. I do have a lot of games. I've been saying this on TikTok. But I really do have a lot of games. I have, custom made controllers. It's not really custom made, but this is the special edition Spider-Man PS5 controller. I do have Spider-Man 2, which we're going to play on the channel eventually. I'm going to actually play all of them, Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2. I know Spider-Man 3 will be coming up, not soon, obviously, in a few years or so, but still. At least it will be done, so when Spider-Man 3 drops, we could just go straight into that. Um, what else I have? I have Xbox, as you see, Xbox. I have Xbox Series X. I have this special Halo edition. I can't show y'all with the camera, can I? Yeah, so this is the special edition Halo Series X and the PS5 down there. It's just day one edition of the PS5. Not planning on getting the Pro. If I do, then that would be great. But I've been PS5. There's no reason to get like anything else. My PS5 does work perfectly fine and well. I do have a Switch 2, which I can show you. I'm probably even cut on right now. See, I do have a Switch 2. You know what I mean? I actually have a 360 Switch OLED. As you can see, the screen is not cracked. It's just the what you call it, the screen protector is cracked. I don't know if you can see. And then my fiance had got me a few years back the original um Switch. I changed the Joy-Cons because the Joy-Cons here are a little has a Joy-Con drift. These don't have Joy-Con drift, so that's why I still use them on the original. But because I like the white better on the OLED, you know what I mean? It still looks good though, but my how the Halloween colors are, you know what I mean? So it's pretty good, you know. Understand what I'm saying? What else? Games. This is just what I'm playing right now. Hogwarts Legacy. Also, I can pull it up. Hogwarts Legacy, Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, Tekken 8, and Demon's Souls. I do have other games, obviously, in the pile that y'all can see back there. What else I have over here? I have Like a Dragon. Still getting used to these guys. Dragon's Dogma 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dragon Age, The Veilguard. I do have other like downloadable games as well on the systems. Uh, this is my little brother had got this for me for Christmas one year. We could open it up and see. I took some games out because I was testing it on the Switch too. But yeah, as y'all can see, I do have some games in here. Um, Bravely Default 2. Oh, well, 1, sorry. Who is inside? Cyberpunk. You know, I mean, I do have. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but um, I just see here. What's this? Diablo 3, Pokemon Scarlet, Smash Brothers, because I was playing with my little brother. I don't know if obviously can't see that. But yeah, no. Zelda, which one is this? Tears of the Kingdom, because I was playing. Bravely Default 2, Pokemon Arceus, Splatoon 3. Because a lot of these games I was just testing on the Switch too. Bayonetta 3, especially Bayonetta 3. On the Switch OLED, it looks good, but it didn't run the best, which was um sad. Very sad, because I beat Bayonetta 1 and 2 on my Xbox 360 way back when. You know what I mean? So I had to get 3. And yeah, I actually like the Bayonetta series. I love the Devil May Cry series as well, which would be over there. I do have the Devil May down here. I have the Devil May Cry collection on the PS3. Loose, yes, I know, and Max Payne 3. These are the only two actually PlayStation 3 games I have here with me. The rest are on the parents' house. So my PS3, my GameCube, my PSP, and I think that's about it. That's left at my parents' house. Just don't have enough space, honestly. Yeah, I can see that I have my my son's playpen in the back because this is also his playroom as well. It doubles as his playroom. When he gets older, probably around 3 years old, I'm gonna actually move some things around. So I'm gonna put a bed in here for him and such. Obviously, he's only gonna use it to sleep and stuff like that. But this is technically his room. Or if we move within a certain amount of time, then yes, I will have a space dedicated. But majority of my stuff is here. You know what I mean? I do have some what you call it, amiibos right here. This is damn, I can't remember her name right now, but Smash Brothers. I have Zelda right here. You know what I mean? I have a little small Mario, but it's not. It, he got the which we're gonna play some Mario too, stuff like that. I do have some pins. I'm a big fan of Naruto, so I had to get this pins and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm a nerd. Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but not like a super nerd. Don't get me wrong. You know, what I mean, it is what it is. I don't hurt nobody or whatever the case may be. Whatever you are or whatever you identify yourself with, I don't really care. You know, what I mean? It's about who the person is. It's about um just making sure. Dang, so my shirt. A lot of my clothes don't fit me. I have lost a lot of weight, you guys. I was a lot bigger. You know what I mean? I don't even know how this thing goes. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So actually making this video right before I leave to go for my second interview today. Well, first interview for today. I have another one, but 9 times out of 10, I think I will go. The company is sketchy, especially the location that they are trying to have the interview at. And I had like 3 or 4 interviews at the same location, and I'm just like, hmm. I understand some companies like to rent out spaces to hire people, but I'm it's the way they presented it, and I was just like, very sketchy. I'm never gonna do it. No, the interview I have today is for Chipotle. I don't mind sharing that with you guys. I mean, I do have a food safety license and such, so I definitely want to find something more in the food industry for now. You know what I mean? If the channel takes off and we make some money from it, that's great. Then I could reinvest that money into the channel, like equipment, cameras, and such. I'm using my laptop right now. I said this before in past videos, but I said like, hey, I'll make this video and let everybody know like what the deal is. You know what I mean? All video was captured from my TV, the PS5 or the Xbox and the Switch. One, well, Switch 2 actually. You know what I mean? And here, my laptop. I do have a gaming laptop, so there are some PC games that I would love to play for the channel as well. Uh, yeah, I want to do reviews. Like we have it's like a few demos downloaded, so we can play through that and give our own opinion at the end. I would love to do that. That's something different. I think a lot of people don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't play demos like that. So, but me personally, I love demos. Demos give you that like the what you call it, like not uncertainty, but they give you the idea what the game is going to be like in the next couple of months. Sometimes some demos come out like at least a week before the game drops. So that's something different. I would love to start doing that and stuff like that. You know what I mean? What else? Uh, like I said, like I said, I am a nerd, but not like a super super nerd. I am a super nerd, but not a super nerd. I don't get it. Like I'm me, basically. I'm basically saying I am me. You know what I mean? If you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, completely understand that there's other YouTubers out there, Twitchers, Twitch streamers, um, what else? People that's on TikTok and stuff like that. Completely understandable. You understand what I'm saying? I am new. I'm very new at this. You know what I mean? My channel is old, about 5 years old. Granted. So let's get into that. So I made this channel back in 2020, right? I think I just been living with my fiance for about like just about like maybe close to a year. Maybe I think I made a year living with my fiance at the time, right? And so I just got a promotion at my old job, and I was like, "Yo, we're gonna get the internet." Boom, got the internet, right? That was it. I got the internet, and I started actually streaming off the systems as the PS5 and the Xbox. Switch at the time didn't have the capability to stream like directly off the system. So I was trying to use the laptop, my old laptop. It was completely slow. My old laptop runs on Windows 10 and can't go any higher than that. I can't change the components because if I do, it's just going to make it slower. So yeah, so I had to upgrade, which is the laptop I have now. So boom, right? That was another thing. I was doing what they call a faceless channel at the time because I didn't have a camera since I was streaming off the systems, which makes perfect sense, right? So I was still having a blast. I was understanding how things work, what to do, what not to do, and such. But I ultimately want to do my own thing. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own thing. I want to do my own thing. I love playing games, and that's just what it is. I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer since I feel like since I was born. You understand what I'm saying? I remember sitting down with my dad playing actually Super Mario on the NES, so the Nintendo Entertainment System. And, from there on, my gaming journey, I would say I was born with a controller in my hand. Also, I would say I was very, very lucky. You know what I mean? Like me and my cousins were very lucky to have parents who actually game as well. You know what I mean? I have it's the NES, the Super NES. I had a Sega Genesis. I didn't have a Sega Master System, but I had a Sega Genesis, and I had a Sega Genesis with the Sega CD, which came with Sonic Boom at the time and stuff like that. Then I had the Sega Saturn. Um, then I got a PlayStation, and I have all the lines: PlayStation 1 to 5. Never missed a PlayStation. I didn't have a Nintendo 64. My cousin ended up getting a Nintendo 64, and my best friend, my brother, I call him my brother, has a Nintendo 64. I never had one. So anytime I wanted to play 64, I could go somewhere and play it, right? So, but I ended up actually getting a Sega Dreamcast and a Nintendo GameCube. Right. Not at the same time, obviously. I believe I got my Dreamcast like in '99, the same year it dropped, or in 2000, and then later down the line I got me a GameCube. Right. So cool. That's my journey. You understand what I'm saying? Like I had like a lot of these systems growing up and stuff like that. We even had a Panasonic 3DO. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's one of those. It was made by Panasonic. They was trying to, I guess, compete with Sony and such, and it was okay. It was a good. To me, it was a good system. You know what I mean? But it didn't. That's just what it was. You know what I mean? But I had that. I even had a Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, I didn't have any other like Game Boy besides a regular Game Boy Advance. I didn't have the SP or anything like that. But I ended up having every iteration of the DS. My dad had got me the original DS. Then I bought myself the 3DS. Or what was it? Was it 3DS? No, it was three. Was it 3D? It was ID or something like that. It was one of those two. It was the one after that, and then they came out with 3D, and then they came out with the new 3DS, right? A lot of them I don't have anymore because they were stolen from me. Growing up, that's just what happens. I'm not gonna say that's what actually happens for a lot of people, but when you have a lot of games, when you do have a lot of people be in your house, and like you have friends and you have family and you got and your friends and your family has friends, what I mean, siblings and such. People do get jealous. um and we got sticky fingers, you know what I mean. So I never bought back another 3DS after that. I just went and got, well, my fiance had got me a Switch, so that, thank you for her, shout out to her. She's amazing. And my son, uh, we'll get to that in a second too, when I get to it. So you understand my journey. You understand what I'm saying? What else? Uh, yeah, I end up actually not having an Xbox growing up per se. The reason why I say that is because I didn't get an Xbox until like when I was like 17, 18 years old, and I started actually living with my mom and my step-pops. Um, what happened? My step-pops had bought a modded Xbox from somebody, and obviously he only used it for DVD purposes. But here he had like two, three other DVD players, so no point of him actually using the Xbox per se. So I used it, you know what I mean? And luckily enough, my uncle used to actually make copy games. So I was able to play Halo, Halo 2, uh Frenzy, something Frenzy, Dead or Alive, those type of games. Don't get me wrong, I did play an Xbox. My other uncle actually had bought an Xbox day one and stuff like that. So he used to come over to the house, bring the Xbox, and I used to sit there and play. You know what I mean? Even my other, I have two, well, I mean, uncles, three, four uncles, and my uncle who actually made the copy games. Uh, he's, hold on, you guys. Hello. Well, yeah, I heard that, guys. Unknown caller, I guess. Let me cut my speaker off. See, this is real time. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm making this video right before going to my job interview, right? So you understand what I'm about and stuff. Um, yeah, we're gonna call my uncle Jimmy, basically. He had what you call it, a Neo Geo. Neo Geo, a Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo Pocket, stuff like that. Even my uncle Jermaine. You know what I mean? They grew, you know what I mean? They actually taught me how to read in Japanese a little bit. Not too much, just to know what the symbols are and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a blast playing the Neo Geo. You know, I had a blast playing the Xbox. You know what I mean? So growing up, I was always considered myself lucky to be even able to touch almost every system that have came out. You know what I mean? Even like the Dolphin when it dropped. You know what I mean? It's a old handheld system. You know what I mean? Or I forgot what it's called, but it was basically a portable Sega Genesis where you could use the Sega Genesis cartridge in portable, basically. It was trying to be what the Switch is, basically. And I thought that was really cool too. So to be able to touch such games, such systems at such a young age was a blessing. You know what I mean? It put me on a route to want to go to like Street Fighter tournaments, or combat tournaments, Tekken tournaments and such, which I never had got the chance to do. I was always taught to go to school, finish school, go to college, and then from there you go get a great job and such like that. But alas, life doesn't work like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I figured after uh, life gave me lemons, I had to make lemonade. I had to figure out things for myself. You know what I mean? I had to figure out how to go to college. I had to figure out how FastFall works. I had to understand how my scheduling works and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, give you understanding, like I've basically learned a lot of these things on my own, you know. After like I could say like after my grandmother had passed away, God rest her soul, um, everybody just basically went their own way. And I ended up moving in with my mom and my steppops, and that's when I had to learn and figure out life. You know what I mean? My mom was already taking care of 4 other children. You know what I mean? My 2 little brothers and my 2 little sisters. So, like, she not not saying that she didn't have time for me per se, but more or less, I just had to go and figure out life for myself and what I wanna do and stuff like that. So, now we can fast forward to 2020. I like I said, I had got what you call it, a promotion. I just got a promotion, and then boom, I started getting more money. I started working more hours and such. But also, it wasn't just in 2020, but COVID happened. So while everybody was home, I was an essential worker, still working. And even though I was still working, I did see that I have time to stream, and that's what I was doing as a faceless channel, streaming off the PS5 and the Xbox, right? But not knowing that I needed a new laptop, not knowing that I needed a recorder, how to use OBS, which I'm using right now, um, with the our capture card. You understand what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that I needed a capture card to capture footage from these systems. So once I started learning these things, we had a definite family. And then after that, fast forward 2 years later, you know, we had another definite family. But then we also found out that my fiance was pregnant with my son. It's my first and only son that I have right now, for now. If we have any other kids, obviously I'll let y'all know. And yeah, I didn't feel like I had time to stream anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like once everything was settled, we dealt with the first death in the family, and then we had to deal with the second death of the family. Comes I would say September actually. Come like the last week of August. I started doing Harfest, which we are in mode right now. We're in Harfest mode. It's Harfest is where we sit down, we're gonna play none but horror games for 2 months outside. And then after that we're gonna go into other games. You know what I mean? So I just love Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, so that's why I'm dedicating Horror Fest to Halloween. And there's a lot of horror games I never got a chance to play, like Outlast, the Outlast series. What else? Little Nightmares 1, 2, and I know 3 is about to come out, so I never got a chance to play that either. So there's a lot of horror games I never played before. I'm more of a Resident Evil type of person. I love Resident Evil, but I also got into Silent Hill. which we're gonna play some Silent Hill 2 at least by October when we get there. You know what I'm saying? There is a bunch of games, a bunch of horror games that I want to play. A lot of games I didn't finish, like Doom 3. You know, it's more of a horror Doom versus it actually being like Doom Eternal. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's on the list of horror games to play for this month, or because the next game that we're playing, once we beat Resident Evil 1, we're gonna go straight into Resident Evil 0. After we beat Resident Evil 0, we can decide whether or not we could play Doom 3, Torment of Souls, which I never got to finish either. Um, or we could go straight into Dead Space, Dead Space remake actually. Which hopefully, if I get this job, I can actually get Game Pass back and I could get my PlayStation Plus back, and then we could play Dead Space 2 and 3. You understand what I'm saying? We definitely gonna get into Resident Evil 2 and 3. Would like to play the original 2 and 3, which is also on PlayStation Plus as well. So if everything goes well, we could do that. If not, it's fine. I have the remakes of 2 and 3. You know what I mean? I even have the remake of 4. I have the original 4. I have 5, and I think I have 6. I think I have 6. I think I have 6. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure somewhere in my library I have 6. So, and I do have 7. I do have 8. So, and we're gonna get it for Resident Evil 9, which also comes out next year as well. You know what I mean? So I want to get those games out the way. You know what I mean? And I also want to state that I'm not a horror channel. I don't just sit and play horror games. This is just Horror Fest. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make it a yearly thing, which I started back in 2022, right? So with the streaming or with the faceless streaming, that's what it was, right? So then in 2024, and actually having 2 more deaths in the family as well. It seems like as I get older, it's gonna be more deaths, so it's just what it is. But not having the mental capacity to sit down and make a video without thinking about what has happened. So, my son was born, you don't know, but obviously in 2023, my son was born. So when I found out my fiance was pregnant, it was around October-ish, like the end of October, going into November, where I got to finish Horror Fest for the first time, right? So then after that, I took another step back because I had to save money. You know what I mean? I had to make sure my son had diapers, clothes, wipes, stuff like that. He's 2 now. And fast forward, like I said, in 2024, we had 2 deaths in the family. And then now it's 2025. I ended up losing my job back in March. And that hurt. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, like, I have to sit here and take care of a family. My fiance works too, but it was just like, I still have to help, I mean, make sure the bills are paid. And I was paying for a lot of the gaming stuff, the PlayStation Plus and the Game Pass as well. And I was paying that monthly. Now I know moving forward, I'll start buying for the year. That way, when it comes next year or the year after next or whatever the case may be, I have the money already saved up for it to be paid off. So we don't have to worry about that, and it will help with the channel because then we have access to a lot of games. Also, I was playing the internet. That was another thing. So no Game Pass, no PlayStation Plus, no internet, right? So that's why a lot of my streams had to take a step back as well. A lot of my stuff is going to be pre-recorded moving forward until I get internet back. Um, I go to my local library, go there, upload the videos to the channel, and that's about it. I've been looking for a job. I've actively been looking for a job. It's been a struggle, but I've been getting interviews, so please pray for me. You know what I mean? Wish me luck. And yeah, that's about it. Now you're caught up. Understand who I am, what I've been through, and understand like shit is hard. You know what I mean? When life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade. So you have to make the best that you can. So that's what I'm doing. and that's why there's been a lot more videos uploaded to the channel lately. Because I was still working when I actually started doing videos again, right? And then when I lost my job, I was like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. I'll get unemployment, and then boom, they stopped my unemployment within like a month. So I had to get back on the grind, right? And then I got sick. Come to find out, I have Graves' disease, which is uh, causing this thing called hyperthyroidism, which it deals with the thyroid gland. It's really predominantly found in females, so it's actually pretty rare to have it as a man. So that's the thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like I could take 2 pills every day, and it might be for the rest of my life. You may never know, right? But that's just what it is. See, I am bald. I do have hair. My hair is growing back. I'm going bald too. So that's just the things that I have to deal with as a person. But when it comes to the channel, I love just actually sitting down and playing games and talking to you guys. It's different from what I was already doing, you know what I mean? Not really already doing besides because I was already working in like customer service, you know, I was a lifeguard. I worked at Duane Reade. Um, I did after school for a little bit. Um, and I used to work at Starbucks. I was there for 8 years, and then as a lifeguard, that was about let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16. So about like 8 years too. So I was a lifeguard for 8 years, and just you know what I mean. Those are two things, of the two jobs that I had, that was literally done for like 8 years, with other jobs in between those two. So just to let y'all know, I am 36. Next year I'll be 37. Yay! I am old, or people consider old. I don't think I'm old. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Age, what they say, age is nothing but a number. But me personally, that's just, I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? Our demographics should be aiming for people around our age, when around my age, but anybody younger. I'm trying to make content for anybody and everybody. That's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get rich. It's not gonna happen fast. If if the channel pops off, it does. If it don't, it's okay. I actually just sit down and enjoy doing something that I love doing, and that's playing games. I generally try not to talk through what you call it, through story. So I like to play a lot of story games, story driven games. So that I don't try to talk through the cutscenes. You understand what I'm saying? We're gonna get some Call of Duty on the channel. We're gonna get some RPGs on the channel. I definitely want to play Let's Go Pikachu again. Um, I love Pokemon. Pokemon's like one of my favorite franchises to play, to be honest with you. And it's this year, and actually this year, started getting back into Pokemon cards. I actually am a big Yu-Gi-Oh player. Like I've been going to tournaments and such like that. So, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon is like one of my two of my favorite card games to play. I even started playing like Naruto back in the day. Yes, there was a Naruto card game. If you knew, if you know, if you know, you know. Um, but yeah, I hope I hope this video was a good insight into who I am as a person, and what I've been through, and how I started the channel, and where I want to take the channel to. Eventually, I'm gonna start doing more edits in the videos. I'm learning how to edit, not as we speak, basically. But I try to be different, so I try to make sure the content is well enough, or good, so that I don't have to do so many edits, or no edits at all. Especially when it comes to gameplay. Yeah, I want y'all to just see my deaths. I want y'all to see, oh shit, this dude died like 3, 4 times already. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, just it's real. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. I want to be a real game. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that these a lot of YouTubers or Twitch streamers aren't real gamers, but I wanna be real as in the sense like, yo, this dude is a real person. He understands the struggle. He understands because I'm struggling now. You understand what I'm saying? I understand there's kids out there that's hustling right now, doing this, making way more money I am, and they're like 14 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely understand what it is to struggle. You know, they'll have to go through a lot of different things, a lot of emotions. That's why I always say at the end of the video, like, please stay safe, be well, because there's a lot of things going on in this world and a lot of evil people. You know what I mean? So I think I rambled on long enough. So with that being said, guys, please stay safe, be well, and I hope, like I said, I hope this video gives you some insight to who I am and where I come from and such. We could do more retro. If y'all like this type of style of video, like retrospect video, then yeah, I'll give you like probably do like once a month, like an update, like oh where I'm at, what I'm doing, and stuff like that. Also, like I said, I want to start doing reviews, not just on like demos, like I said earlier, but I want to do reviews on games and past games, like give our thoughts. It's not really a review per se, but give thoughts. Now, if I get some review codes and stuff like that down the line, and they say, "Hey, look, we want you to review our game," then yes, there will be more reviews that way. But it just give my thoughts on games and stuff like that, and interact with you guys. So, yeah, with that being said, please stay safe, be well, and I'm out of here. Catch you in the next one.